Welcome back to the channel, everybody. This is Chris's Collectible Corner, and for those of you who are new, thank you for coming through to tune in for this review. And today, we're taking a look at the Solemn Valor Version B Majin Vegeta by Black Hole and TK Customs. But before we get into the figure itself, if you wouldn't mind, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell notification to be notified when new reviews are uploaded to the channel. It really helps and I appreciate the support. Alright, so first impressions, looking at the packaging. As you guys can see, we have this kind of two-tone effect. Along the sides, there's some Asian writing. I don't speak any Asian, so I don't know what that says. Along the front, we have a small window with the figure and some of the accessories, an old school illustration of Majin Vegeta in his iconic pose. Then on the other side, it says Solemn Valor Version B. This is the battle damage version of Majin Vegeta. And then along the back, we keep that two-tone theme. And there's like a faded image of Majin Vegeta powering up in the background. That aside, let's get this guy at the package and take a closer look at the figure. And here we have him standing straight up and down, no crazy poses. This is the Black Hole Toys and TK Custom collaboration Majin Vegeta. From the soles of his feet to the tip of his hair, he stands at just shy of 6 inches. But if you go from the soles of his feet to the top of his scalp, like his widow's peak, he's about 4 inches and 3/4 in height. So he's a little bit shorter than the standard Vegeta we get, and it seems like that's kind of like the trend going forward. People are actually making Vegeta a bit shorter and more to his height in the shell. But that aside, this is our first 3.0 Majin Vegeta. Obviously, SH Figure Arts hasn't gotten around to it yet because we're not even in the Cell Saga yet. They're milking the Namek Saga for all that it's worth. So that's where third party steps in to kind of give the fans what they want. So going based on first impressions, I really like the build on this guy. You know, I definitely think Majin Vegeta should be buffer. A lot of people complained that the original one was too thin, so I think this is a good compromise. And I also really like that we're getting a battle damage Vegeta. I feel like we don't get a lot of battle damage Vegeta, so I'm really happy about that because I think battle damage figures are dope. And so far, the only person that has gotten battle damage love has been Goku. So I'm glad that third party is stepping into the ring to give us his variation of Vegeta's character. But that aside, looking at the proportions, like I said, he looks a little bit more stubby. He has some battle damage on him, some scuff marks. The blue is a dark blue and not as light as the SH Figure Arts one. And it's actually more accurate to the color his clothes were in the actual show. And we'll see that more apparently when I compare the two next to each other. He's got some blood on his leg and shoulder. To me personally, I think he should have a little bit more battle damage and more scuffs. That fight between him and Goku was kind of legendary. And then looking at the head and the hair sculpt, it has this pearlescent yellow, kind of palish yellow, which I actually really like. I'm usually not a fan of like the shiny looking hair, but I think this works really great with this head sculpt. And I know for a lot of people, the Tonson Art Majin Vegeta head sculpt is the definitive Majin Vegeta head sculpt. I'm actually one of those people that also fall in that camp. But I also think this is a really nice alternative. I like this head sculpt and the hair a lot more than I thought I was going to. When I saw promotional pictures, I wasn't too sure, but having this in person is actually really nice. I actually really like the hair a lot more. I'm gonna say it's probably on par with the Tonson Art, honestly. Maybe that's blasphemy, but I really like it. I feel like it gives that more full, spiky kind of look that Vegeta has. But that aside, another topic of discussion that's been, I guess, a sore spot for a lot of people that they don't like is the shoulder sleeves on Vegeta's figure. They feel like those shouldn't be there and it's more of like a tank top. Me personally, seeing them in hand actually doesn't bother me that much. And you can push them in so you don't have to have them flaring out as much. They're made of like a hard plastic though, so they're not like particularly attached to the shoulders. They kind of like floating there. So I think it's primarily there to just cover up any gappage so you can utilize the butterfly joint without having these gaps showing the sockets and the inner workings. So like I said, personally, it doesn't really bother me. But now let's take a look at the accessories that this guy comes with. He comes with 5 different facial expressions as well as a windy hair, and these faces look really nice. I really like the battle damage and the blood work, how they applied this onto this Vegeta, because that's how I always remembered him from the battle, all bloodied and damaged and scuffed up, and I feel like these really captured that fight that he had with Goku. So with the first expression, we have the serious face Vegeta looking slightly to the side. Then we have Vegeta, of course, grinning in the midst of battle because he's a Saiyan, so this is like the thrill of the moment for him. That way you have another Vegeta with his mouth open, slightly smiling, probably a more maniacal laugh because my Vegeta was kind of crazy. And then another one is, again, kind of like a smile kind of look on him. But this one doesn't have any battle damage. It just has beads of sweat that kind of just show a little bit of fatigue throughout the battle. And then the last facial expression goes with the windy hair. And this is from that iconic shot at the World Tournament when Vegeta blew a hole in the stands and killed some of the audiences. So this is the only other face that doesn't have any battle damage on it. Now, as for the hands, he comes with 4 separate pairs of hands and then 2 unique single hands. So for the first pair of hands, they're kind of more curled, so I think that's more for him shooting off a Ki Blast or Gala Gun or Final Flash. Then he has his karate stance hands when he's getting ready to fight somebody. He has another pair of Ki Blast hands that are more open palms, so the fingers are more splayed out. Then he has what I like to call his Big Bang attack hands. And then he has another hand that has a hole in it, I guess, so you could peg like an effect in there. The effects that they gave us don't fit in that hand, so probably you could use it with something else. But I'm sure that's for him to like hold a blast. And then this last hand is from that iconic shot that's on the box where he has his index and middle finger up and his thumb sprawled out, getting ready to shoot an energy wave. And then for the last bit of accessories that they give us is a stand with a Ki Blast effect, a yellow translucent one. So this way you can plug that on there and have the Ki Blast right at the top where the ball peg is. The only downside to this is that it's too tall. So when you actually pose it next to Vegeta and have his hand standing out, the stand is too tall, so the Ki Blast doesn't line up with Vegeta's hands. So I guess that's a bit of an oversight, but then again, that's to be expected with third party, unfortunately. Alright, so now let's take a look at this guy's articulation. This is our second 3.0 Vegeta, because the first one was from Beast Deities, but that was with the armor. So this is armorless Vegeta, so now let's see how he moves. We're going to start with the legs first, so let's get his arms out the way. Well, actually, start with the arms since we are already moving them. So, as you can see, he can do the T-pose. He can go up past 90 degrees. So that's good. And you see when you pull the arm out, that's when that comes out. But you can push it in, so it's not that big of a deal. And like I said, it's just a floating piece. So when you want to use the butterfly joint, you don't have to worry about that gappage back here. So yeah, it doesn't really bother me. Then you can move the arm all the way around, 360. That shoulder piece doesn't get in the way at all, so that articulation is good. Elbow bend, bicep swivel. And he feels stiff, but not like super stiff, like squeaky, like he's hard to move and I feel like I'm gonna break him. Like, he feels good, he has a good tolerance. Like, he feels like when you pose him in a certain position, he's gonna stay in that position. That's it. So, there you go. So far, everything is pretty good. Alright. Okay, he cannot move side to side at all. There's really no upper torso articulation at all. Can he ab crunch? No. Not at all. Like, literally, that's it. That's all he could do. Wow. He can't even lean back. He's literally just stuck like that, so that's a minus. You guys know how I feel about ab crunches. Does he have a waist swivel? Alright, he could move at the waist, so that's good. Alright, so there's that. Now let's look at the legs. Could do an easy split. No problem. So there you go with that. He could bring his leg that far out. Same with this one. And he can't really kick back because they gave him the booty, but if you want, you can kind of do it to the side a little bit if you want to get that backwards mobility. So there you go. Thigh swivel. Knee bend. Pretty good. Same here. Alright, and now for the ankles. Ankles are kind of meh. Yeah, you can't really move them up at all or down. It's like his upper torso. Side to side you can, but not that much either. They went with the old style of his boots. They should have went with the 3.0 that the Diamond Vegeta had. That would have been much better, but... Alright. And then... head articulation, he could look up about that much. Oh, okay, actually, a little bit more. So there you go. He could look down about that much. Side to side. And right to left. And there you go. So yeah, that's this guy's articulation. And if you're curious if his face plates are compatible with other Vegetas, no. His whole thing is different. So you see, pop it off. Got 5 pegs right there. And right here with the head. But then this part pops off as well. Because it right here has to plug into the Widow's Peak. So yeah, he's not compatible with the other Vegetas as far as the faceplate. I'm going to do another video though, doing head swaps to see which bodies this head could fit on and vice versa. So, there you go. Just in case you were curious. And here we are with some comparisons. So here we have the Black Hole Toys Vegeta with the Beast Deities Goku body with the Whom/Worm Super Saiyan 2 hair sculpt on it. And I think these two pair really nicely together. So if you want to display them together to recreate the fight scene from the Majin Buu saga, these are the two figures I think you definitely need to have. Continuing with the Buu saga theme, here we have him with Kid Buu himself from Tauntaun Art Toys. And I think these two scale perfectly to one another. Really good. And down here we have him with the SH Figure Arts Power Level 24,000 Vegeta, and as you can see, this new trend where Vegeta is getting shorter, but I think it's more accurate to his height. So these two are pretty much the same height, the only difference are the hair sculpts. And then here we have him with the old dated 2.0 Majin Vegeta that Tamashii Nation originally released. Man, the face sculpt is dated. The body, yeah, it is too thin, and the blue is way too light. It should be darker because that's what it was in the show. But for its time, this body served its purpose. I actually have a couple of them laying around, so I'm gonna keep them because if I don't, that's a waste of money. And here we have one, probably the best comparison. This is the Kong Studios Ultra Ego Vegeta battle damage body, and at the time this was the only battle damage Vegeta body that we could get, and these were really hard to come by. And as you can see, they look really nice together. I even think even though the Kong one is on an old mold being 2.0, the battle damage actually helps elevate it. And of course I had to take the head off and put on the Tauntaun Majin Vegeta head on there, and it looks great. But seeing them side by side, yeah, honestly, I would say the head sculpts are about even, man. Like, honestly, I like them both equally. They just represent different styles. I will say I probably like the hair on the Black Hole TK Majin Vegeta a little bit better, just because it seems more accurate to what it was in the show. And I'm not knocking Tauntaun, but, you know, Tauntaun came out with like 4 different colorways of Vegeta. And for the Majin Vegeta, it's pretty much the same hair sculpt. Obviously, it's a little bit different because he has the bang in the middle to simulate Super Saiyan 2. But the overall hair sculpt is pretty much the same to the base Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Blue, and his regular Super Saiyan. So, yeah, I actually like the TK hair a little bit better. And then here we have him with the Kong Battle Damage Majin Vegeta, well, not Majin Vegeta, Ultra Ego Vegeta reissue, where the paint job on the clothing was a little bit more tattered to kind of show it had been worn. But I'm not showing it for that reason. I've put some decals on this Vegeta to like make him look more battle damage, and that's what I was trying to get at earlier. I feel like the TK one is really good. It just needs more battle damage and scuff, just kind of like the custom one that I put together over here. Because when you look at that battle, they're all bloodied up and scratched up, so I just feel like the one cut on the shoulder, the one cut on the bicep and on the leg isn't really enough. You kind of need to add a little bit more, but that's just me. Alright, and there you have it, guys. That was my review on the Black Hole Toys TK Custom Majin Vegeta. I think this is a great pickup. I definitely think you should get him. I got mine off a hobby model store. He came out to about $54 after shipping and taxes, so definitely super affordable. And if you're on the market for a Majin Vegeta, I would definitely go this route instead, only because you get more bang for your buck. You get a battle damage sculpt, you get an updated mold, which is 3.0, the head sculpt and the face plates are really good, you get the extra accessory even if it doesn't really line up perfectly, and I think he's just a great addition to the collection. I mean, if you try to get the actual SH Figure Arts Majin Vegeta now, he's probably going for $80 to $100, and if you try to get the Kong, forget it, that one's over $150, sometimes $200 if you're looking on eBay. So definitely go this route. For $54 after shipping and taxes, you can't miss with this one. Now, with that being said, you guys know I like to use the Dragon Radar from a scale from 1 to 7 using the Dragon Balls to rate these figures. So going with that scaling, I'm going to give this guy a 5. I was going to lean more towards a 4, but the pricing really helped it out. So I'm going to give it more of a 5. Yes, some of the cons are he doesn't really have any articulation at all in the torso, and he has the old outdated ankles, which is kind of cumbersome because that's a big part of getting your figure sturdy and putting him in certain poses. But the fact that saves it, like I said earlier, it's a battle damage Majin Vegeta, updated sculpt. I think the head sculpts are really nice, and you get that one added accessory plus the extra windy hair, which we didn't get at all with any Majin Vegeta. So with that said, you guys let me know in the comments below, what do you think of this Vegeta? Are you gonna pick him up? Do you think this is the best one? Let me know in the comment section, and I'll leave a link in the description if you guys are interested in picking this guy up. With that said, I hope you guys found this review informative. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification to be notified when new reviews are uploaded to the channel. Thank you for stopping by my corner of the internet, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.